Good morning, Matt Dela Cruz here with the Winning Minds Group, part of the John Maxwell team, and welcome to Mondays with Matt. Happy Monday to you. I hope you had a great weekend. Looking forward to another fantastic week this week as we kick off this new week and wrap up the last 2 weeks of this year. That's right, we have 15 days left, 15 games left to play in our 2018 season. And for those of you who have not taken the time to write down your goals for 2019, for what you want to be, do, or have, or at least thought about it, I highly encourage you to take the time this next 2 weeks to do that. Because otherwise, you will fall into someone else's plan, but most importantly, you're going to end up settling for whatever comes your way. You've heard about the three types of people out there. There's those who make things happen, those who wait for things to happen, and then there's those who say, what happened? Don't be that person, please. So last week I talked about 2019 goals, and I encourage you to ask the young adults, your children, your grandchildren, and ask them what their goals were for 2019. Ask them to take the time to write down their goals. You see, if it's not in writing, then it remains a wish or a dream. But we as adults, it's important that we teach the kids this stuff. You see, kids don't lack capacity, they lack teachers. And we as adults, we need to take the time, especially if you care about your children and their future, we need to take the time to teach this stuff because this isn't taught in any formal education when it comes to goal setting. I know there's people out there who talk about goals, but they don't live this stuff. Not like me, 27 years. I mean, I have a system down that works. It's worked every single time. And that's why I teach this. And I encourage people to do this as well because it will change their life and how you can control your life. But last week I talked about, when I talked about the power of goals, and people were sending me emails saying, Matt, are these good enough goals? Are these good enough goals? What I did notice is that there was a lot of possession, a lot of selfish goals, and there's nothing wrong with that, but make sure that the goals that you have, and this is probably one things I want to make sure I encourage in this particular video this week is this. Make sure when you start 2019, you should have 7 goals in writing. No matter what, and you're going to have a minimum of 7, and one for spiritual, family, career, financial, social, mental, health. You should have 7 goals because those 7 areas, those 7 pillars, those make up the people who you are and what you become in the future. That's what those 7 areas are. But you have to be intentional about that. You have to want to grow on purpose on those because, again, growth doesn't happen automatically. Growth doesn't happen accidentally. Growth only happens on purpose. So be intentional about setting those goals. Remember, every day counts in the game of life. So next year, when you're given 365 days, you have 365 days to sow the seeds, to plant the seeds, and be able to harvest whatever you want it to be. But it's entirely up to you. You control that, right? You control 100% of how you think, how you feel, what you see, and what you do. You control that. That is the key ingredient for you to take a dream that's something invisible to make it visible to reality. So I want to give you this quote real quick because I love this quote. It's short, sweet, but I love this quote. Today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. You see, every day that you're given, that when you wake up and you get to fulfill 24 hours, that is a gift. And when you open it up and what you do with it, when you invest in those 24 hours, you get a return. That gift could be whatever you want it to be. Because the one thing that's for certain is this. You cannot make up a day in life. You cannot make up a game in the game of life. So make sure that treat every single day as a gift. You're blessed. You have today. When you have tomorrow and you wake up, you're blessed. It is a gift. That's why they call it the present. So until next week, live with passion, live intentionally, and let's look upon every day as a gift. And we can open up that gift to be whatever we want it to be because we are miracle workers. Thanks so much. Make it a great day, and we'll talk to you next week.